How do you solve a problem like Chelsea?
Ben White on the volley makes it 5 for Arsenal, and they are cutting Chelsea to shreds.
Don't wish it away.
I apologize to the fans, I apologize to the people because we didn't compete and we were so soft.
Mauricio Pochettino was supposed to be this unbelievable coach with young players improving them. I haven't seen any evidence of that this evening.
What's gone wrong there? Enzo and Caicedo, what is your job in this team?
Everyone's going to be screaming out for Poch to go, but let's be honest, he's not going to go. It's going to cost the club too much money.
Chelsea blown away by an unbelievably intense, high-octane Arsenal performance.
And I guess that's why they call it the blues. Time on my hands.
So the Arsenal moved 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League. A huge 5-0 win over Chelsea at the Emirates. After being dumped out of the Cup to City the weekend, the Blues followed up with the heaviest London derby defeat since in 1986.
Wow.
The Chunk and Dean Saunders were back in the sports bar last night, taking your calls after the full-time whistle, and former Chelsea defender and regular sports bar co-host Jason Cundy gave the boys a call to give his assessment of that performance.
First half, I thought Arsenal were average. After the first 4 minutes, right, we were poor. Trossard there gets the goal. Petrovic poor near post. After that, I've got to tell you, I thought Arsenal were bang average first half. Bang average. We had chances. And at half-time, at 1-0, why do you think Arteta got booked? Because Arsenal weren't at it, right? Arsenal weren't at it.
What game are you watching? Jace, what game are you watching? Are you having a laugh?
You've been in the Players' Lounge.
Arsenal weren't at it, right? And that's why...
You're joking.
Arteta,
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking. Second half, I agree with you. Second half, appalling. We had chances. Jackson had chances. Arsenal...
Chances? Jay, sorry, mate. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, mate. I know you're a Chelsea man. Don't come on here and say that Arsenal were average in the first half, mate. It could have been 4-0 at half-time. You got absolutely battered. You might have had one shot. I think Mudryk had one cross where Jackson might have poked his head on it. That was it, mate. You got totally dominated, totally outclassed, totally overrun. Don't come on here and say that yous were all right.
Right, just to put Jason's claims that Chelsea played well in the first half to bed. Arsenal had 13 shots in the first half of the match, the most on record in a single half of football against Chelsea in the Premier League. They weren't bang average, were they? Chelsea,
Arsenal?
Yeah.
No.
Chelsea got back on the ball a wee bit, but Arsenal weren't bang average.
No, Arsenal were better than Chelsea in the first half. Although Jason's point I take, after the goal, they played okay. I mean, they certainly, unlike what Jamie said there, Jackson should have scored the header. They also hit the post, you remember? With a deflected one, Jackson cuts across, it hits Gabriel. That could have flown in. Arsenal still had better chances.
They showed that pace down the left.
Yes, ran away from Saliba. Arsenal still had better chances. I thought for a couple of poor decisions from Havertz, where he should have hit one, he didn't.
I agree with you.
And then he should have squared one and he didn't.
The one he hit, he should have squared.
But he scores two great goals. I hear what Jace is saying. They could have scored in the first half, Chelsea. Arsenal weren't bang average. They were better than Chelsea in the first half, and they were miles better second half. That's my take on it.
We're taking your calls this morning. 03717 22 3344. What needs to change at Chelsea? Ryan's a Chelsea fan. Ryan, it's not a good morning, but how are you?
How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just where to even start with it? Do you know what I mean? Well, first off, credit to Arsenal. They were miles better, and they sniffed a wounded animal there and they went for the kill, so you've got to give them plaudits there. But when it comes to Chelsea, I'm getting bored of the same excuses. Every time we win, it's you get the same sort of after-match comments. But when we lose a game, and in the manner in which we lose a game, like we did last night, I'm getting bored of the whole, it's a young team, and I'm sorry, and I'm not. Last night, he has to answer some questions. He threw young Gilchrist under the bus last night in a massive game with no support. He played Madueke and Mudryk on the wings, and he must have told them not to track back, because the minutes they played last night without making one recovery run, is beyond me. So they must have been told to stay up and not provide any support at the back. And how he manages to find a space in the team for Fernandes week in, week out is beyond me, because he's absolutely shocking. And I feel bad for Caicedo, because in the last few weeks he's made a lot of improvements, but he gets thrown under the bus and tarnished with the same brush as Fernandes whenever he's in the same team as him. I just think so many poor decisions at the moment.
Ryan, what about Jackson? He's got to start taking these half chances, mate.
100%. But again, last night, you know, Cundy rings up saying about the first half. Everything Chelsea did in the first half was toothless, whereas with Arsenal, it was clinical. And we're suffering with that week in, week out. But last night, no matter, even if Jackson scored every chance he had, he still would have got beaten. So he needs someone else that he can put up as a front man, because you can't bring in a 22-year-old player who was playing majority of the season left wing for Villarreal and then stick him up front and hope he scores 20 goals a season. It's not going to happen. So, he's poor as well, and the chances he missed last night is just a story of his season.
Ryan, that's a great call, mate. Great call.
Let me say good morning to another Chelsea fan. Ian's on the line. Ian, good morning.
Ian.
Good morning, lads. What, have you got 10 hours?
On you go, mate.
It's just an absolute shambles. I think what it boils down to is the fact there's no leadership. There's no leadership on that pitch at all. There's no spine to the team. It's just an absolute joke. He's brought all those players there, and they don't seem to know what they're doing. Now, is that Pochettino's fault or what? You tell me.
Well, see, looking at it, first of all, and I've got to say, I agree with Ryan, the earlier caller, and I keep saying it, I've said it for a while now, I'm looking for a lot more from the two midfield players, Caicedo. I know Ryan was trying to cut Caicedo a bit of slack. I'm looking for a lot more from the two of them. I really am. I can cut Jackson a little bit of slack because I think he will improve. I still think he's young. I think he's got a lot of qualities. I think his finishing's, you know, leaves a lot to be desired. I think he snatches at things, but I genuinely think there's improvement in them. But one of the differences, for me, and Ryan mentioned it, see when you look at the wide players, for example, Arsenal, Trossard going back defensively, out with his goal, going back defensively, he helps his left full back, whether it's Kiwior or whoever it might be, Tomiyasu in that position. I don't think Mudryk and Madueke have done the same, and I certainly did have a massive degree of sympathy for Alfie Gilchrist last night.
And I have to say, Odegaard and Rice were brilliant, weren't they? They were absolutely outstanding.
Tremendous.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.